Hey everyone! The When Calls the Heart Season 12 finale has arrived, and what an emotional journey it's been. In episode 12, we witnessed heartfelt moments, unexpected twists, and life-changing decisions for our favorite Hope Valley residents. Join me as we break down everything that happened in this unforgettable episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more updates. Let's dive in. Elizabeth liked living near to Rosemary and Hope Valley. She refused to leave the town when Lucas went off to pursue a career in politics, but she wouldn't do anything to keep little Jack alive. Seeing her leave her home and perhaps everyone she loved was sad. We are appreciative that Allie and Nathan decided to follow her. Those four have created a family, even if it wasn't formally recognized, and little Jack will recover more quickly with family and faith. On a big cliffhanger, the season 12 conclusion of When Calls the Heart revealed that Elizabeth, Nathan, little Jack, and Allie had left Hope Valley. Nobody knows how long they will be gone, but their trip out of town might signal the reappearance of a significant character from the When Calls the Heart realm. Following little Jack's diabetes diagnosis, which causes the community to go into chaos trying to figure out how to get insulin into Hope Valley, everyone can finally relax after their accomplishment. Faith's clinic successfully joins the University of Toronto's insulin experiment, and Elizabeth's son keeps growing thanks to medication's beneficial effects. The youngster is fully recovered by the time summer arrives, and he has even resumed his baseball pastime, which he likes to practice with Nathan. As a result, the Thorntons' situation appears to be improving. The arrest of the Garrisons also appears to have marked the end of Bill's probe into the gold coins. However, Rosemary's insatiable curiosity keeps her from accepting that the gold coins are still missing. As a result, she is unwilling to stop suspecting Edie Martell, who inherited her Uncle Ernie's farm some time ago. In contrast to the unfinished case, the school year is nearing its conclusion. After completing their education under Elizabeth's guidance, Timmy, Angela, and Emil will be entering the workforce as adults. Because of his involvement in the Garrison case, Oliver passes the Mountie test with honors, marking the end of his time as a cadet. Oliver, though, doesn't appear very excited about the positive development. Both his teacher and mentor are concerned about the fact that he performed significantly poorly on Elizabeth's graduation examinations. However, she has some fresh issues of her own, even though the latter intends to investigate the matter more. Charlotte, her mother-in-law, recently opened a boarding house in Cape Fullerton town. The grandmother has suggested that Elizabeth relocate to Fullerton in order to improve her grandson's health, because the town has a far more sophisticated medical clinic that is much better equipped to handle experimental diabetic treatment. When little Jack's health deteriorates, the mother is forced to reconsider her decision to remain in Hope Valley, where he can be at home even though she is confident in it. Particularly in the latter part of this season, little Jack's and Elizabeth's plot has grown heavily reliant on his health. In the early 1900s setting of the show, the youngster develops diabetes, which is still very much incurable. Luckily for him, research on insulin treatment for the condition has just begun at the University of Toronto. As a result, little Jack has access to the life-saving drug despite the fact that transporting it to Hope Valley has been difficult. For the first few months it works wonderfully, but finally a mistake undoes his gains. It turns out that there were some issues with the university's most recent cargo, most likely brought on by inadequate refrigeration during transit. For the same reason, the lack of an effective drug causes negative side effects for all other volunteers included in the trial program. Little Jack needs an emergency dosage since he is comatose due to a shortage of insulin. Elizabeth's best option is to take the boy to Fullerton so that the operational clinic can assist them with the problem. But she will undoubtedly have to reconsider her entire plan after this trip. To make sure her son has adequate access to insulin, Elizabeth has been trying to get it into the little community thus far. She even transforms Faith's clinic into an experimental drug center. The reality is that Hope Valley lacks the sophisticated equipment that a legitimate large city medical lab would have even with Faith and May's training. Charlotte's well-meaning letters had only served to emphasize this. As a result, Elizabeth finds herself questioning if moving out of Hope Valley would really be the best course of action for her kid. As she gets ready to travel to Fullerton with her ailing kid, she mulls over the same thing. She first intends to leave the brief letter to Nathan outlining the circumstances because he is nowhere to be located during his chaotic development. Elizabeth also opens up in the letter about her conflict between wanting to stay in the community and not want Nathan to leave his and Allie's lives for her. Nathan catches up to Elizabeth's taxi at the last minute, even though Elizabeth is ready to depart with just the letter as a final farewell. The father-daughter team is prepared to go to Fullerton with Elizabeth and little Jack, and Allie goes with him. As far as the Mountie is concerned, the four of them are one family, even though this isn't official yet. As a result, he will support his partner no matter what. Despite leaving Hope Valley for the time being, the four of them appear certain that they can work out a solution together. In Hope Valley, Elizabeth and Nathan still have a lot of unresolved issues, including Elizabeth's chance to present her curriculum to the school board. Therefore, there is always hope that they will return to their true home, even in the face of their dire circumstances. This season's central mystery plot has been the case of the missing gold coins. Bill and Rosemary are determined to find the truth and are complementary in their resourcefulness and resolve. It follows that the reporter won't be happy until she sees the real gold coins in all their splendor. She chooses to surreptitiously question Edie while pretending to be reporting on her recently opened legal practice in the area for the same reason. Rosemary becomes interested in one of Edie's uncle's maps and discovers some interesting facts about him during the conversation. Consequently, Rosemary and Bill and Nathan start looking for hints on the map. In the meantime, Edie seeks assistance from her new friend Lucas, who also happens to be her occasional customer. Like Rosemary, the lawyer believes her uncle Ernie may have been involved in the coin theft. She therefore wishes to pry into his possessions and locate the treasure in order to report it to the police. Around the same moment, the two sides finally figure out the coin's riddle. Ernie had actually concealed the cash in a long covered-up wishing well. When the site is excavated, a trunk full of gold coins is found. When Edie discovers that Ernie's map contains a secret message, she also makes another discovery. In the message, Ernie describes how he chose to unearth their buried wealth after hearing the Garrisons talk about where it was. In order to assist Edie reach her full potential, the man used the gold money to care for her and send her to law school. The note is nevertheless a touching representation of the relationship between the two. Edie, however, does not want to keep the coins for herself in contrast to her uncle. Nevertheless, she will unavoidably get a finder's fee after returning the treasure, which will assist her in covering the debts on Ernie's property. Consequently, it appears that the attorney will have a nice and extended stay in Hope Valley. Oliver doesn't seem to be as excited about graduating and entering the real world as the other members of Elizabeth's upper class. Actually, it appears that the youngster was trying to ruin his own future based on his performance on the test and his disappointment at receiving honors in the Mountie test. The truth of his predicament becomes much clearer once Elizabeth and he have a discussion about it. Oliver spent a lot of time in foster care before coming to Hope Valley. He was expected to have no formal education and worked as a farmhand on the ranch of his former foster family. At the same time, his father appears to be out of the house and his mother is incarcerated. Oliver has therefore never really known what it's like to be a child and have a family. But the young man has had the opportunity to experience all of these things and more over the last few months while serving as Nathan's cadet. He has discovered a sincere friend in Allie, a father figure in the teacher, and a role model in the Mountie. It's possible that he has more than just platonic feelings for the other adolescent. He is therefore unwilling to give up all of that just yet by leaving the town and becoming a Mountie. Fortunately, Hope Valley takes care of itself. Elizabeth tells Nathan about Oliver's issue when she understands its underlying cause, and Nathan may be able to assist the young guy. By pulling a few levers, the Mountie manages to assign a deputy to his command in Hope Valley. Oliver can therefore receive a promotion and remain in town if he passes his Mountie test again. As a result, it appears that the young Mountie will soon be a more frequent presence in Hope Valley and will probably be important to Allie's future plots.